this talk of impending doom has rattled my nerves. Down to half a bottle of grog and my hands are still shaking. Look, Svanna needs you, and I suggest you hurry.
Mog is an alcoholic, but he knows how to party.
Tusk of I know. I heard that something sordid occurred at the palace, but she wouldn't give me any details. Something to do with the High King. She did mention an impending doom, though. Hence my suddenly sober outlook. Oh, well, now that makes me feel so much better. I never liked the man, but I didn't think he was a traitor. Look, go to the Blue Palace. Talk to Svanna. I'm suddenly beginning to see that this situation is really bad. She needs your help. Tell Svanna. Tell her I'm here if she needs me. Of course, unless she wants to get tusk-faced drunk and wind up face down in a ditch. I'm not sure what good I could do.
But you're good for
Anyway,
that.
She's waiting for you at the Blue Palace. And where might that be? I appreciate the thought, but if it's all the same to you, I think I'll stick close to the palace. In case Svanna needs me. Besides, I know where Svargrim keeps his liquor. I figure it's fair game, now that he's a traitor.
I need someone who isn't afraid of the dark.
My father, working with the Grey Host. My father, working with the Grey Host. How long has he been a part of this? Did he have a hand in Mother's death? And what has he told them? It's almost too much to bear. And then there's the Herostorm. My friend, I don't know what to do. You're right. I know you're right. It's just... he's my father. No, I have to focus. The Herostorm, it's coming. We have to save the city. There's nothing more important than that right now. I'm not sure we can. But we can make more of Fenn's elixir. Distribute it to the people. We need more of Arkay's sacred oil, though. We'll have to take it from the supply stockpiled at the Temple of the Divines.
They've taken it! By the gods, it's fallen!
Fallen? What are you talking about?
The Grey Host. They came out of nowhere, captured the temple and the Tower of the Wolf. We're locked out!
Then the sacred oil.
Damn it all! I need to get down there!
Follow him! Now, soldier, tell me exactly what happened.
Who's with me? Not that guy.
First he hid in that ghastly tower.
That can't be true.
We're done. The Grey Host has found a foothold. Now the city is lost.
Not yet, it isn't. On your feet, Sorthane. We have work to do.
Yes, Princess Svanna. I apologize for that display. Tell the princess... Tell her it won't happen again. You need to understand. I pledged my sword and my soul to the High King. We all did. And he betrayed us. Nothing good, I'm sure. The Grey Host appeared out of nowhere and cut down my soldiers. Only a handful were able to escape before they sealed the gates. Svargrim made us fortify the entryways. The bastard knew he'd lock us out.
Not that I can think of. What does it matter? Svargrim brought the Grey Host down upon us. He's bringing a harrow storm. We need to evacuate the city while there's still time. Some of us will survive if we flee now.
That's unacceptable, Sarthain. If we can't get the sacred oil to make more elixir, then we have to stop the harrow storm.
Princess, we've kept watch. There aren't any witch pikes around the city.
Then you missed something. They needed the witch pikes for every other harrow storm they summoned.
Of course. Blackreach. The Grey Host must have gained access to the temple from beneath the city.
They could easily hide the witch pikes underneath our feet.
We know the Grey Host has been using Blackreach to clandestinely move around western Skyrim. Why not launch their attacks from there?
Then we're going back to Blackreach. If the witch pikes are there, we'll destroy them.
Yorin sent me with a warning for Solitude. Now I'm about to march into the starless depths of Blackreach to try to avert a massacre. How do I keep getting myself into these kinds of situations? I thought you knew me better than that. Taking on the impossible challenge, beating the unbeatable foe. This is what I'm good at. So yes, I do have to do this. And we're going to win. We have to. Svargrim. To cast his lot with the Grey Host, become a vampire, threaten his own people with a harrow storm. It's madness. One thing's for certain. We have to stop him. One step at a time. First we make our way down into Blackreach. Then we find the ritual site. It must be right beneath the city. We smash witch pikes and kill as many Grey Host bastards as possible. After that, we pray to Kyne and hope for the best.
My father. A vampire. He sat on his throne, pretended to mourn for my mother, and said he had a plan. But all the while he was preparing the city for the Grey Host. He's worse than a monster. He's a traitor and a liar. I know. It's just... Look, we were never close. Not really. But he's my father. My king. What about you? Could you do it? Could you confront and maybe even kill one of your parents? I find that surprising. I thought you adventuring types were decisive and willing to do whatever was required to succeed. I need to think about this. Let's stop the harrow storm, then I can decide about my father. I'm going to do whatever I can to stop the harrow storm and save Solitude and its people. After that, we decide what needs to be done about Svargrim.
As a junior member of House Ravenwatch, I never expected to be in the thick of things like this. I have to say, it's a tad overwhelming. Am I looking forward to going back to where Singolis experimented on me? Not even remotely. But I want to see this through to the end. I need to. The Grey Host can't summon the Harrow Storm without performing their ritual. And we know that requires witch pikes, so there's that. Plus the usual assortment of coven witches, vampires, and werewolves, I suppose. Nothing we can't handle, right? I had hoped to secure the sacred oil, and make enough elixir to distribute throughout the city. But we're running out of time. Our best bet now is to find the ritual site beneath Solitude, and stop the Harrow Storm before it's unleashed. You're absolutely right. Especially after we found evidence of undermining down there. All I can say is that we were focused on other things. Let's go and save the city now, all right?
Ominous. And, unless I miss my guess, it's directly under Solitude. That's our target. The ritual site must be somewhere inside that horrid structure. I scouted the area before you arrived. It's full of Grey Host forces. And from what I could tell, Skyrim and Rada al-Saran are both inside. Not so fast. If we rush down as a group, they'll be on us like a snow bear on a horker. You go ahead. Try to cross the bridge to the main entrance. It's well guarded, but you're more than capable. Or you could try the alternative. There's a sluice gate in the outer courtyard, tucked away against the keep's eastern wall. The few patrols in that area can be avoided if you're stealthy. Opening the gate requires a key, but that should be simple enough to find. You know your strengths and weaknesses better than I do. Play to those. But whichever path you decide, move quickly. We need to find the ritual site and deal with the witch pikes before they unleash the Harrow Storm on the city. Cross the bridge, or use the sluice gate to get into the inner courtyard. Then find the keep's side entrance, east of...
Slight detour.
First.
Nice of you to join us.
I don't understand. What am I supposed to do with these flasks?
If we run into trouble, throw one of them at the source. Then get out of the way.
split up and find the ritual site.
I suppose that makes sense. I'll go with our friend here.
Let's cause some trouble.
Hello. This looks important. This book? I recognize the handwriting. It's Singalis's. It's more of his research. Harrowstorms, witch pikes, netherroot brew. How it all works together for the benefit of the Grey Host. This might be something. I just need to skim through these assumptions and incantations. What's this? Instructions on the placement of runes throughout Greymore. All the way to... My gods! This entire tower! It's a witch pike! The magic I sensed earlier. It was familiar because it's the same magic used in the Harrowstorm rituals. Don't you see? This entire keep is the ritual site. They turned the tower into a witch pike. But at the scale, it's inconceivable. I'm not sure we can destroy this tower. We need to keep going. Find a way to disrupt the ritual. But I think I understand what they're doing. Singalis found a way to release the Grey Host from Cold Harbor by using the Harrowstorms. The Harrowstorms steal life energy, and use it to pull the souls of the Grey Host out of Cold Harbor and into the Grey Reliquaries. It's quite ingenious. How they reincorporate, though. It has something to do with those stone husks, I think. Oh, most certainly. Perhaps even a way to reverse the effects of the Harrowstorms and restore the Harrowed. If the notes are complete, it would just require study, experimentation, and time. Unfortunately, we lack all three of those at the moment. Lyris, Svana, I think this entire tower functions as a witch pike.
What? Fen, how is that even possible?
The energy
That's my father. This way.
Pain is part of the process, Skyrim.
It's exquisite. My master.
Once you are attuned to Greymore, the storm will be yours to command. Rise, Skyrim, and unleash my storm upon solitude. Then the last of the Grey Host shall be reborn.
The Ashen Lord. He turned Svargrim into the heart of his Harrowstorm.
They're moving higher up the tower. We need to follow them.
and Fen take these stairs. Svanna and I will go this way.
Look, a grey reliquary. It's massive. Just like the storm they planned to unleash on the city.
Let me at him.
And so the thorns arrive once more to prick my thumbs.
A barrier.
And Rada al-Saran?
Your persistence begins to annoy me, mortal. You killed my beloved brother and sister, Singalis and Ulfra. I freed them, and you sent them back. Back to the hated Moloch Ball. I will see you suffer for the transgression. As much as it would please me to flay the flesh from your bones, I have more pressing matters to attend to. But know this, as I felt each death, you shall feel it when the Harrow Storm takes every life in Solitude. You shall feel it when you fail. Bold words, but futile. Svargrim rises and the Harrow Storm with him. Once the attunement is finished, they will be unstoppable.
What happened? What did that damn vampire do?
He's merging the power flowing through the keep with Svargrim, giving him control of the Harrow Storm.
Then you must undo it. I'll stay and help. Leaders, you and our friend keep going up and find my father.
That energy. They're waking up. Get ready to fight. Keep moving. Don't let them surround us. Come on, we're nearly through.
We weren't able to stop the attunement spell. It's just getting stronger.
Dead end. Damn.
A tower. It must lead to the upper levels. I need time to get that door open.
Everyone, protect Fen!
Keep your weapons ready.
Good job. Through the door into the upper level.
Just... The shaking is getting worse.
Damn magic! Give me something to hit!
The magic. It's Al-Saran. The attunement is almost complete.
The attunement is complete, Svarg. You and Greymore keep our
We need to hurry. Rada Al-Saran is leaving. Why? So high up, but still far beneath the ground.
Abandon me in our moment of triumph? What game do you play, Rada Al-Saran?
game. I gave you power. If you can't conquer Skyrim, the fault is your own. Now ascend to your Tower of the Wolf and unleash my most potent herald.
The Grey Host was
The Grey
preparing to
Host
attack.
is counting
It's
on
just
you,
as possible they're
little
relocating their forces.
This place is connected to Castle Dower. How long has
Fair
my
enough.
father been planning
Friends,
this?
lead the way.
Oh my.
What is it now, Fen?
Oh, nothing. Just don't look down. These tunnels look freshly dug. Harrow fiends. Is that what became of the Harrow?
Let's show them what we've got.
Harrow fiends, corralled like warhounds about to be set loose.
Up ahead. That's the temple's undercroft.
Is that Princess Rana?
Harrow storm. It's begun.
Look, above the Tower of the Wolf. The storm's only partially formed.
My father's up there. Open the gates and let's go.
But the Harrow fiends below the temple. If they escape into the streets.
You and I will keep that from happening. Take the princess and deal with Svargrim, partner.
Yes. It's the only option. Let's go.
Behind us.
I'm with you, my
The
friend.
Harrow fiends!
Up the stairs.
Get to the tower and stop Svargrim. We'll hold the gate.
Come to bear witness to my ascension. Rada Al-Saran has given me power beyond anything you can imagine. Behold!
This vampire is the father of her, Svanna. She just found out he's a vampire.
How is this possible?
Father, why did it have to come to this? That was for Mother. For Solitude. And for every soul in Skyrim. Your ambition, your greed, look what it led to. We need to hurry. My father betrayed everything to aid the Grey Host. With his death, Solitude is saved. It's done. We killed my father and ended the Herostorm. The city still stands. Skyrim still stands. Although the Tower of the Wolf may have been damaged beyond repair. No, of course not. My father was the High King of Western Skyrim. I always thought he had the best interests of our holds and our people in his heart. But there was a darkness there. Jealousy, bitterness. He wanted to control all of Skyrim. For Svargrim, yes, I think it was. As for Rada al-Saran and the Grey Host, I'm not entirely sure what they're after. Enough of this. I need to get to work. With my father gone, someone has to pick up the pieces and restore the holds. First, on behalf of Western Skyrim, take this with my thanks. We would have been lost without you. Then
Brand
rest.
new hat.
Check on our friends. Injuries must be tended to, buildings repaired. Other wounds will take longer. We'll have more to do soon enough. Whatever Rada al-Saran and the Grey Host were planning, I think the worst is behind us as far as Western Skyrim is concerned. With Svargrim dead, their grip on the holds comes to an end. Not officially. At least I don't think so. I feel like the whole world's crumbling around me. But the city's still standing, so that's something. I'm more worried about our friends. We left Lyris and Fen to hold of a horde of Hero fiends. Hopefully they were able
totally
to hold
forgot
the
about
courtyard
that.
and keep those monsters out of the city. You go on ahead and check on them. I need to collect myself. Solitude needs Princess Svanna now. And I'm not quite ready to be her. Thank you. Help them and anyone else as best you can. I'll do the same. Once you're done with them, I'll find you and we can figure out what to do next. Something bugging you?
You are. Get out of my way.
Tell me truthfully, Lyris. How much of this blood is mine?
Not enough to be worried about. So, is it over? What happened to Svargrim? And where's Svanna? A parent's betrayal cuts deeper than a sword. But Svanna's strong. Stronger than she's been given credit for. And Solitude's going to need that strength in the coming days. If you told me the tavern rat we met at the Lonely Troll would become my choice to lead this land, I'd have called you mad. Then again, My king's a skald, so what do I know? Come on, there's probably something productive we should be doing. Last I heard, Sword Thane Uthlet was gathering everyone he could at the Hall of the Dead. Head over there and see how they weathered the Harrow Storm. I'll take care of securing Castle Dower. As for Fen, you might remind him we need a lot of elixir. We did our best to hold the Harrow Fiends inside Castle Dower, but nothing short of stone walls were going to keep those monsters from pushing through. Seemed like everyone I killed was replaced by 2 more. Almost didn't. We were nearly overrun before Fen went wild. I've never seen him like that, snarling and showing what a true vampire can do. Took the Harrow Fiends by surprise, and we routed them. I did have to thwack him to clear his head, though.
You did it. I shouldn't be surprised. But things were looking rather bleak before the clouds parted. We held the gate as long as we could, but the Harrow Fiends were a flood of claws and teeth. Once they burst through, Lyris cleaved through them like a scythe through wheat. But even she couldn't stem the tide. I'm not really sure. I kind of went wild. Let out my inner beast, as it were. I was rending and slashing. Then Lyris whacked me with the flat of her blade. At least that's the last thing I remember. Not my finest hour, but we survived. The Sword Thane gathered people in the Hall of the Dead. Go check on them while I pull myself together. This whole ordeal has been a lot more strenuous than I'm accustomed to. Then I'll get to work on the elixir and a cure for the Herod. Sadly, I don't think there's any hope for them. Their life energy was sucked dry, turning them into feral beasts. Restoring them is beyond my capabilities, I'm afraid. At least with the Herod, they're not so far gone as to be a lost cause.
To see you aren't raising mugs with Ismir just yet.
We saw the storm break, but we heard nothing since you departed from Blackreach.
I regret we didn't throw a beret to welcome you back, but I'll cheer enough for 100 souls if you tell me you put that backbiter of a High King to the sword. But what of Svanna? Is she? That's good, but a daughter shouldn't have to kill her own father. Svanna has my support. For whatever that's worth. She's going to need all the help she can get in the days to come. Not until we hold a moot to support her claim, and we need more than a single Jarl for that to occur. If Svanna proves herself as the acting Jarl, they might look past her father's failings and make her the queen, eventually. We can settle the matter of the crown when there's kingdom enough to rule. What remains of the holds are still ravaged by the Harrow Storms. And I doubt we've seen the last of the Grey Host, for that matter. None good, but none bad either. My wife knows better than anyone how to care for our people. I trust she and my Thane to protect and care for Morthal in my absence.
We seem to have survived, thank the gods. I thought for certain we were all about to witness the end of the world. No thanks to Svargrim, damn his eyes. After you and the princess went off to Blackreach, I gathered whoever we could and made our stand here in the Hall of the Dead. I'm just glad we don't have to be permanent residents. Far fewer than I feared when the storm began. Thanks to you and the princess, with the storm over and the Grey Host driven from Castle Dower, my soldiers will get the city back into shape. As long as no one else attacks us in the meantime.
They're here! They're at the gates!
The Grey Host? I thought we were done with them for now.
Not the Grey Host! The Skald King with an army from the east!
What treachery is this?
To the gates. We'll give the Skald King a proper welcome, one way or another.
Are you an individual with a love of tinkering, or a lot of pent-up aggression?
Stand down, you idiots! We come in peace.
Partner, could really use your knack for diplomacy right now. Speak to the Skull King before we start a war.
Sure, save me from fools and prophets. Will no one properly greet? Oh, familiar face. Maybe you can talk some sense into these Western milk drinkers. We're not a damn invasion. We're here to help. Do you know what's going on? So the rumors are true? Svargrim joined the Grey Host? I knew he had ambitions, but to throw away his humanity like that, it's inconceivable. Svargrim once told me that he would die before welcoming me to solitude. I suppose he was right. That's why I sent Lyris here in the first place. I'm not the king of these holds, though. I can't do anything if they refuse my help. Svargrim despised me. He would never accept my aid. But Svanna... here she comes now. Let's see what she has to say.
We have no need of help that involves welcoming your soldiers within our walls.
My walls, Jarl. My father may have been willing to slap aside the helping hand, but I'm not. Permit me a word with your envoy, Skald King. Thank you for holding the line, I mean. I'm ready to do what I should have done a long time ago. To do what my father never could. I'll speak with the Skald King. There's one more thing I'd like you to do while I entertain our guests. We saved Solitude, but our war with the Grey Host is far from over. We need Fenn's elixir more than ever. With that, and King Yoren's help, we might just push these monsters back into their grave for good. Check on Fenn's progress, please. That depends on Fenn. If there's anything standing in his way, let me know, and I'll do everything in my power to get him what he needs. Fenn is with old Mjolnir at the Mages Guild. When you're finished with him, join me in the courtyard of the Blue Palace. I'm going to hold a moment of remembrance for this city. We all need a moment to mourn what we lost. I'm going to invite the Skald King to join us. If the people of Solitude see him bow his head along with the rest of us, they may not care about the divide between the East and the West.
Ingenious. A rare thing to find an elf with the makings of a clever woman.
Despite what my kin might proclaim, it's not all in the blood. Ah, good, you're here. We've made a breakthrough. I was just discussing a theory with Mjolnir, and it seems like we're very close to turning this elixir into a true restorative. A cure. Singolis's research on the Netherroot showed me just how it weakens the connection between a body and soul. Thus far, I've been able to inure a person to the root, but now I'm certain I can use that knowledge to heal those weakened bonds. Well, it is just a theory at this point. There's a lot more testing and experimentation to be done before we can produce a viable antidote. Weeks, optimistically? I know. We can't simply put things on hold. Mjolnir and I have a batch brewing right now, and materials to keep producing for another day. Ingert's promised us a steady supply of Arcase oil, but that's not our limiting factor. We know enough about Singolis's refinement processes to replicate his methods, but we still need a source of Netherroot to do so. Tell Svanna that if she can keep us supplied, we can produce enough elixir for all the holds in a matter of weeks. We can ransack Greyhost stockpiles, or mount an expedition into Blackreach. Otherwise, it would take decades of work to produce a proper crop. After we get the elixir squared away, we'll turn our attention to curing the Harrowed. Indeed. As I surmised, the Grey Reliquaries contained the remains of ancient Greyhost warriors. They served as a connection to the souls trapped in Cold Harbor. Using the energy from the Harrow Storms, the souls were pulled into the stone husks. I believe the stone husks are incubators of a sort. The physical forms of the Grey Host are reincorporated within the stone vessels, through a mix of Zingalis' alchemy and sorcery, and the magic of the Ice Reach witches. When whole, they burst free.
I was hoping you'd return before we began. Tell me you've got good news. I'll feel a lot better delivering a speech about healing and hope, knowing that we're on the road to recovery. What did Fen have to say about the elixir? Not the best news, but I'll take it. So long as we have enough to protect our soldiers, we have a fighting chance against the Grey Host. I'll go to the Undergrove myself, if that's what it takes. Now that would be cause for celebration. If he can really bring back even a fraction of those we lost to the Harrowstorms, I'm willing to try. That's all I needed to hear. We should begin the ceremony before the crowd grows more restless. Nothing fancy, just a traditional Nord wake. To mourn and celebrate those we've lost, and cherish the lives we still have. I'd like you to join us. None of us would be here to sing dirges for the dead or celebrate the living if not for you. I certainly wouldn't be here, ready to lead my hold. You've supported me since I started down this path. I'm honored to have you here at the end. Sons and daughters of Skyrim, we have the honor today of remembering the dead.
Honor to the fallen.
Sons and daughters of Skyrim, our trials were fierce, but we are still here.
We stand and we remain.
Now, we raise our voices to tell Sovngarde of the coming of the worthy dead, and to tell the world that the Nords are still here. We are still standing.
The fallen now march home to hallowed halls, to join our ancestors in boundless drink and song and brawls. Let sound the horns, let peal the bells, let loose the ancient hymn. We will remain until time ends, we children of Skyrim.
That was beautiful. I am moved. Don't make it awkward. guess that was Western Skyrim. What should I do next? Let's see. I think Bankerai was on the list. I haven't done that. So Apocrypha. I want to do Apocrypha, and I want to do what's another Far Reach. Fargrave, I mean. But I don't see that on here. Haven't done the Deadlands.
You are requested to appear before the Dread Lady, adventurer.
Interesting. I can't start that yet. But if I'm going to do Fargrave, I'm going to need a different book. It's not going to be a face mask. Oh, I know. I know what I need. I need a Sigic skull cap. Yep. And, major adornment. I know there's one that's very, very Fargrave. There we go. Yep, that makes sense. And costume. Maybe I just dye the one I have on. Think of another one that would be better. Oh, what was that one? It was so funny. That's my Fargrave outfit. Done and done. Not sure if the wolf makes sense, but he can come with me for a bit. We'll see. Let's do some bonus content on this video. I'll do some Cyrodiil. Not Cyrodiil, but I'll show you my route in Imperial City. How about that?
You see...
Sword of Solitude. I honor you with this blade. And then the first thing I do is deconstruct it.
That's right, you Daedric pig. They're simple. Aid me!
Move!
You made it. So you...
So many souls.
I'm still cooking. We're gonna need another pull. Fucking bullshit.
Fucking charm's broken.
It is. I'm at 90.
I would say mission goalie. We should focus mission goalie. Probably healing him.
Do you want me to respawn at winners or just wait?
Jesus.